Ladies and gentlemen, residents of Canberra, and citizens across our nation, listen closely, for this is not merely a tale of crime, but a haunting echo of unease reverberating through a peaceful suburb in the heart of the capital. It began at midnight, when the stars still watched silently overhead, and the quiet hum of suburbia drifted through the streets of Banks. Most of the city lay asleep. But not all, for inside one particular home, slumber was shattered. A man and a woman awoke to a sound, sharp, startling, unmistakable. A loud bang pierced the night. Not the crash of something fallen. Not the wind. Not a dream. It was the first sign that something was terribly wrong. And within moments, that fear was confirmed. Two figures, faceless and masked, crept into their home. Black balaclavas, dark clothes, armed with firearms and the intent to intimidate. The shadows of the night had transformed into real, living danger. The man was confronted, not in the streets, not in a dark alley, but in the supposed safety of his own home, his sanctuary. Where his guard was down. Where no one expects violence to come knocking. What followed was not just an intrusion. It was an assault, a violation of security, a brutal act in a place meant for peace. He was attacked, physically, violently, and then, in an act that rattled the bones of this quiet community, he was shot in the leg. Let that settle in, shot. In his own home, at midnight, while his partner stood nearby, helpless, no doubt traumatized. And then, just as swiftly as they arrived, the two attackers vanished into the night. Their escape vehicle, a blue BMW SUV, cut through the silence of the suburbs and vanished before police arrived. But their presence left a scar, not just on the victim's body, but on the psyche of every household in Banks and far beyond. Emergency services rushed to the scene. Lights pierced the darkness. Sirens wailed. Help was on its way, but the damage had already been done. The man, suffering from a gunshot wound, was rushed to hospital. Miraculously, his injuries were not life-threatening. But what about the threat to peace? To trust, to safety? The questions now hang heavy in the air. Who were these men? Why did they come? Why this house? And most chilling of all, did the victim even know them? According to Detective Acting Superintendent Stephanie Leonard of ACT Policing, the answers are not yet clear. The investigation is in its infancy, and the motive remains clouded. She told the public that it's too early to say whether this was a targeted attack or a terrible mistake, a wrong address, a wrong assumption, or a deliberate hit. And what if it was random? What if the attackers had no link to their victim at all? That possibility sends a ripple of unease through the hearts of many. Because randomness is the enemy of preparation. When there's no reason, there's no warning. Detective Leonard confirmed that multiple investigative resources have been allocated to the case. The hunt is on. Police are on high alert. The city's law enforcement is working around the clock to track down these masked figures before they strike again, or disappear into the ether. The pressure is immense, not just because of the violence committed, but because of what it represents. An act like this challenges the very core of what it means to feel secure in your home. And the work ahead will be difficult. So far, police haven't been able to speak directly with the victim, his injuries too severe for immediate interrogation. But his story will matter. His memory may hold the key to unlocking this mystery. In the meantime, the only description of the suspects paints a picture that's both vague and terrifying: tall men, dressed in hoodies and track pants. Anonymous, unidentifiable, shadows that walk among us. How many tall men wear hoodies? How many drive BMWs? How many could be blending into the crowd as we speak? This is why the police are calling for your help. If you saw something, anything, on the night of July 8th in the Banks area, come forward. If you noticed a blue BMW speeding away from a residential street, speak up. If you heard strange noises, saw strange figures, or have dashcam footage that captured a fleeting moment of something off, report it. This is not the time to sit in silence. This is a call to the community. Because it is not just the job of the police to keep a city safe, it is a shared responsibility. It is the duty of every citizen to help protect the peace we all cherish. And so, Crime Stoppers stands ready. Anonymity guaranteed. Justice demands no name, only truth. Dial 1-800-333-000. Even the smallest clue may be the key to preventing another night like this. Let us be clear, this incident will not go unanswered. The attackers may think they've disappeared. They may believe the darkness protects them. But Canberra is not a city that forgets. And the law is patient, relentless, unyielding. The message from police is loud and unwavering: you will be found. To the residents of Banks, know this: you are not alone. The full force of law enforcement stands behind you. Your streets will be patrolled. Your safety is the top priority. But still, the deeper questions remain. What has driven men to storm a home at midnight? What motivates such targeted aggression? Is this the emergence of a deeper criminal threat, or an isolated act of violence? And perhaps most frightening, what if the motive is as cold and calculated as it seems? Because if this was no accident, then someone sent a message. And messages like that carry with them consequences that echo far beyond a single gunshot. This incident marks a turning point. A line has been crossed. And how we respond, as individuals, as neighbors, as a nation, will define the days ahead. Let us not become a society where homes are vulnerable. Let us not shrug at violence, or accept it as the cost of urban life. Let this not be just another crime lost in the blur of the news cycle. Because every act like this, no matter how rare, reminds us of how fragile peace truly is. So we demand justice. We demand answers. We demand safety, not someday, but now. And above all, we demand that those responsible for this cowardly act be held accountable, swiftly and with the full force of the law. The road to resolution begins now. And it begins with us all.